Hello, everyone, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
Today, we're going to preview the game between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream, which is tonight on Monday in Atlanta at 7:30. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do and make Rob happy. We're looking for 4,000 subscribers and we need your help. Just went over 3,500. So
Nice.
Big game tonight. Atlanta Dream is also fighting for a playoff spot. They're half a game behind the Chicago Sky. They've won 3 of 4 after losing 11 of 12, mainly because Ryan Howard was injured. And they also missed Jordan Canada missed some games also because of a broken finger. Rob, what do you think? What are the chances of the Indiana Fever winning tonight?
I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game for them. Atlanta's playing very well, and like you said, they have Howard back. She's playing well, and they have Canada. She's led the league in defense with steals, and so she's a good defensive player. They'll probably put her on Clark. They've been playing very well. They beat some teams. They beat Connecticut Sun, who was ranked. It was in the second in the standings. So they're a team not to sleep on. So the Fever, I think, has got to play a very good game or play as a team and not fall apart near the end.
Well, their coach is Christy Side, so the chances of that happening aren't too great. The only thing that they got going for him is Clark can make him play a team. So I just want to point out the first 2 times they played, they beat the Dream somewhat comfortably, but each time they were missing 2 players. The first time, Tina Charles was playing, but she was coming back from an injury and only played 16 minutes and only contributed 2 points. And Jordan Canada did not play. The next time, Ryan Howard was injured, and Jordan Canada didn't play again. So again, they only had 2 out of the 4 key players both times they played. So this is different. They got all 4 players playing right now, Rob. This is not an easy game. The Dream is a better team than the record because of all their injuries, and it's in Atlanta, and they need to win this. And they need to get their act together and come out with some energy, which they didn't do last game.
Yeah, we'll see, Mark. Well, geez, the leading scorer was Smith when they played him last time they played him. So I'm like, wow, Smith was a leading scorer. So I don't know if she can repeat that or at least get somewhere close to that. But they're going to need all hands on deck for today's game.
Right, and Alicia Gray's a good guard, and they start 3 guards from what I can tell. So that tells me that even though we had really good reasons last time to start Lexi Hall, they should really start Lexi Hall this time. So because they're going to need her defense, and they're going to need it because they start with 3 guards. So if she doesn't start Lexi Hall this game, I don't know what else. I mean, I don't think my computer or my TV is going to last, Rob, because there's going to be bricks in both of them. I'm dead serious about this one.
And
I don't keep bricks in my house because of Christy Sides.
And luckily you don't have any hair, so you don't have to pull that out. So
I really, if she doesn't, that's insane. I mean, she should have started her last game, as we all know, because she was hot in the 3-point shooting. They needed defense against Nafis Collier, who's the hottest player in the league right now. And she didn't start her, and it was a disaster. Now she needs to just use a half a brain. I'm not sure she has it, and start her. I mean, Nalissa Smith and Samuelson are not effective right now. Bench one of them. I don't care. Samuelson probably, because I think Smith's has already lost enough confidence. You're going to lose even more confidence if he doesn't start.
Yeah.
But that's really what you have to do, Rob.
I mean, yeah, and then make adjustments during the game. That's part of coaching. She's not making any kind of adjustments.
Wait. What are adjustments?
Oh, well, say like if the guards are like shooting 3 points in their faces, how about adjusting and maybe go to a zone to stop them from doing that?
Yeah, I agree with that, Rob. But the other thing is that their team defense was awful last game, and it hasn't been good all year. They started out, I think, 12th in the league. I think they're 11th now. So they don't switch well, Rob. They don't position themselves properly. They're not good on ball defenders. They're just not a good defensive team, and that's part on the players, obviously, but that's coaching. And as you know, you were a coach. This is coaching. They've had 30 games, to learn.
They're
how
the
to play
game
better
that
defense.
had a month off to tweak things.
Right. This is embarrassing that their defense is still this bad. You know, they just really need to improve on that, or they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. They're going to play a team, most likely it's going to be second or third in the league, like the Lynx or the Suns, both of whom play good defense. And they're not going to beat them in a best of 3 series unless like Caitlin Clark has like the 2 best games of her career or something like that. Yeah, maybe they could win 2 out of 3. But other than that, I don't think they have a real chance.
And that half court offense, or non-existent offense, when the ball is slowed down, is horrendous. Right. It's not watchable. You can't. Like I said, I'm surprised. You better put up a little padding on the TV if you're watching their offense.
Right. Well, I don't know what's wrong, Rob. Unless they run, their offense is terrible. So the pick and roll between her and Boston is good, but it wasn't as good last game.
No.
And at least you have Boston to cover Tina Charles in this particular game. So that I don't know who you're going to put Smith on. Smith can't cover anybody lately. Her defense seems to get worse by the game. And her attitude and her concentration seems to get worse by the game.
Yeah, they're going to need to. Hopefully Mitchell gets hot again, and Caitlin can cut down on the turnovers and just run the offense and some kind of motion, the pick and rolls. They got to work on that. And then, like we said, the bench. I mean, rotation, like you mentioned, almost every time. That's the rotation of the bench and players. Get that corrected.
Don't get me started.
I know. I didn't want to mention that, but
someone wrote it in a comment just about essentially what I've been saying, that they should use 10 players. Eventually, we want Temi starting. We, as in our Indiana Fever teams.
Oh my gosh! You said we. Wow.
But let's say she doesn't start because she's not all the way back yet. She seemed a little lost out there. She's probably not in shape. Fine. Then you start Smith. You start Boston. You start Hall, Mitchell, and Clark. And then first off the bench, Temi coming off the bench, coming in for Smith.
Right.
You can have Dantas substitute for Boston.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Wallace come in for Mitchell. You can have Wheeler come in for Clark. And Samuelson come in for Lexi Hall. You rotate those 10 players, and they'll be fresher this way.
Right.
They'll be able to run. Mm-hmm. You know, Berger, I don't know how good Berger is because they haven't used her all year. So, but those 10 players I've seen play, and they can all contribute if they come in and play 6 to 10 minutes. And if they use 10 people instead of 7, their offense will be more likely to be up pace on a consistent basis. What do you think, Rob?
Right. No, that's perfect. Yeah. You have to do that if you're going to have a offense that's going to run it. And but the way she's been substituting is, I mean, even Clark, she said that Clark is telling her she needs to rest. But that's fine. But rest her at a certain point where it's not near the end of the quarter. Like, don't just pull her out and then have her sit for 3 or 4 minutes.
I'll go over this one more time. You play Clark 34 minutes, Christy. Christy, watch this video. You play her the whole first, because they're finishing quarters poorly. You play her the whole first quarter. You rest her the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. Now she gets a 4-minute break that happens between the quarters, plus however many minutes it takes to play the first 3 minutes of that quarter. Then she plays the whole third quarter, and then she rests the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Again, she gets that longer break, and then she's fresh for the end run in the fourth quarter. Very simple. And you put Wheeler in for those 6 minutes. That's it. Don't play Wheeler anymore. Don't put her in with Clark. That's it. Everybody else could be a little bit different, but for your star player, you need to do that. You need her in to finish quarter strong, and you need to get her a longer break consistently.
And she has to shoot more. Clark has to shoot more. She's being too. She's got
legs are fresher. She will.
Yeah, she's got to shoot more. The last game she did not take in the fourth quarter. She didn't shoot that much. She's got to shoot. She's got to be a little more selfish.
Right. Again, so everybody else, play whatever, 6 to 12 minutes, whatever. Depends how well they're playing. Eventually, Temi should start, and you could sit Smith because she doesn't seem to be motivated to play well for this team right now. I hope she wakes up before the playoffs so she won't get any playing time. At some point, she's going to be benched. But she needs to play better.
Yeah, play smart. I mean, she play smart, not like turn around and try to drive through 3 people.
Right.
What are you doing?
Again, we never said don't play Wallace. We said she shouldn't be starting. How many times do we have to say this?
Uh,
And, you know, in Hall, we forgot to mention this last video. I forgot to mention she was 2 for 3 in the last game. We all know what she did the game before. So that's 2 games in a row that she was hitting her 3. That's another reason to start her. Because the only reason she shouldn't be starting is because she can't score. She drives to basket pretty well and can make layups, but she didn't really have an outside shot for most of the season. She has in the past. She did in college. She hasn't been hitting it since she's been in the pros. But now that she's got her confidence going, boy, you got to start her. You got to get her in there.
And she can run the floor. She runs the floor she runs the floor well and gets nice little and she can make the layups.
And Caitlin Clark is able to run an offense in such a way that you can get wide open threes for these players. Even if they're not great 3-point shooters, their percentage goes way up when they're wide open. As people say, those are practice shots, right, Rob?
Right.
Rob will make you run a lap if you don't hit those.
A lap.
I think they're going to win tonight, but I'm going to go for them every game until they play the Aces again, and then I think they'll split that series.
Well, I'm trying to be confident.
Until they play poorly.
I'm trying to be confident, Mark, but I just know that teams are going to adjust, have adjusted to them, and it showed in the last game. So teams are going back to where they're starting to double team Clark to get the ball out of her hands, which makes sense. So if you get the ball out of her hands, and Atlanta, they have Howard, who last time Howard guarded Clark one-on-one because she's a good defensive player.
She's a very good player and a very good defensive player, and that will be a problem that they have 2 guards that can cover her. Yeah. Although Canada's only 5'6", so she's a very good defensive player. Though she's led the league in steals twice and has been first team all defense twice. So, but still 5'6", and Clark is 6 foot. She's gonna be able to pass over her very easily.
Well, that's why Howard's gonna be on. I put Howard on Clark and put Canada on Mitchell because she's the streak shooter.
Right. So they got good matchups. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's in Atlanta too. Although anytime they're on the road, they still have a lot of fans. Their away game, they do have an advantage to the rest of the league because they don't really have any pure away games. They get just as much cheers for them in away games as the other team. And then at home, they get like almost all for them. So they do have an advantage. So let's see. I think it's a dangerous game, but I don't think they're going to take them lightly because they could see that Atlanta's playing well and that they have their full roster now. But doesn't mean Chrissy Sides are going to have them ready.
No. I'll be very surprised.
Coach of the year, Chrissy Sides.
And it wouldn't matter if they came out hot and they were up by whatever 20 or 15 points. I still wouldn't be comfortable.
Well, they're not used to being up by that much, Rob, so they don't know how to handle it.
Well, they've had twice not a good practice, so.
So we'll see what happens. All right, so join us tonight. We'll have the normal live show from 6 to 7:30. Then obviously we're going to go switch over to the live show for the game. And it's on NBA TV again. And that will be at 7:30. And I'm interested to see what the ratings are for the game the other night. They probably come out today. I am interested to see what the ratings are for the last game on NBA TV against the Lynx, because the most they've gotten this year, I think the most they've ever gotten for an WNBA game is 700,000. But that game could have broken the record because every time Clark plays, she seems to be breaking records for attendance. And it was a big matchup with the Lynx. So we'll see. I think the ratings come out today. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that notification bell when you do. Help us get to 4,000. And we want to thank all our subscribers and all the people that watch our videos. We appreciate your support. We really do. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And we'll see you. And there's also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.